What is going on, true believers? New bat time, same bat channel. Hope you guys like the new schedule here. This is going to be an opportunity to maybe reach out, grab some new subscribers, etc., etc. You know, everything that goes along with a change into a more prime time locale, if you will. Let's see how this goes for a little while. See if maybe we get some traction in this range. Now, if you like this type of content, please make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. And then leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this new time frame. Let me know what you think is going on. The market started to reverse again. We started to see a nice little pump happening one more time, and we are absolutely ripping. And let me tell you something. I went long last night. I didn't make a video of it, but I went long on API last night. Boom. Absolutely ripping right now. Having a nice little run. Solana just broke out a few moments ago. Bitcoin back up over 68,000. Like, it is absolutely sending right now all over again. We're going to talk about all of this and more, and we're going to do that right after the break. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys. Good morning to you. If you good morning. If you good morning, good morning. And if you don't good morning, good morning. Hope everybody is having a great day. I hope your day started off really good since you had an extra hour to prepare for little old me. Blockchain Bonehead, what is going on? Good morning. Jay Locke is in the house. We've got Mike Vollmer here at 2:34 in the morning. What in the absolute effie-deffery is going on at 2:43 in the morning? S-Dog is in the house. What's going on? Richard Caldwell's here. Good morning. The Fun Family with a $5 bomb. Neko to the moon, currently only 200,000 to 1 million, is a 5x on that. And by the way, if you didn't notice and if you didn't see it before, Neko was pumping, had a nice little run yesterday, up about 40%. Well, it's still going. So if you got in during that dip, if you were able to grab yourself a bag during that, the move is not as parabolic as it was before. We had a slight dip before we started moving back up again. So if you got in on that, though, then you're feeling pretty good about it because it goes a little something like this. Hit it. So it's still the number one performer, as you can see over here on these lists right now. Still the number one breakout performer so far. So certainly hoping, by the way, that we see some of these other ones just really start to rip, especially on this Ethereum blockchain or the Solana blockchains. Of course, Solana breaking out right now to 190. Now I did liquidate my position there, and I did move on to this one over here, which is API 3. I'm up about $155, 50% right now. So the broader market right now really had started to pump really good. So we saw just a massive move to 68,000 for Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, we're going to quick close this. We're going to pop that out. We're going to take the money on that one. I want to take the money on it. I want to take the profit. That's $155. We might as well not sleep on that. So we've turned since yesterday, we've turned $300 into $477. Do that every once in a while and to see how it goes. Now, after this, I'll be looking for another entry position. As you can see, the market absolutely ripped just a few moments ago, and we saw some big spike over here. We got into the range I told you guys, that little green range, which we did the video on yesterday. And I told you that this little green range becomes where if we get accepted, if we start to move through this range, then we liquidate a bunch of people. And you can see, if you zoom in, like we literally spiked right up to the top of it and then just broke through this entire range because this is where all of the liquidations were. So we got those, and now the question is, what does Bitcoin do next? And if we move to a slower time frame here, then you can see exactly what happened right there. Really looks like we're spiking, and we're probably in for that next big leg up. Now, you look at this on the 4 hour, and you can see that it is a confirmed breakout. We came into that range. So that's going to be pretty big going forward. So good morning to Jeff T, Abimbola, Janet, good morning. Norbert, good morning. Kathleen is here, good morning. Crypto Antagonist, we got Remington Perot in the house. We've got keep going down here. Dalton Wingirder's in the house. What is going on? Dude Tyler is in the house. Jay Manuel's here. Gazzer's here. Vader Prime is in the house. George Lopez Garcia is in the house. Trail Boss says, I am messing up the program. Dude, I'm just trying to, come on, man. I'm just trying to good morning. If you good morning, good morning. If you don't good morning, don't good morning, but good morning. You know what I mean? Good morning. Trail Boss, Jason Pollins in the house, CODM and Crypto, Neko to the moon. We got Redbeard OG in the house. We've got Abbott and Dawn. We've got Tony P in the house, Coin on Crypto, Alex Kamana, Juicy Bleed Vet. We've got Carlos in the house. All right, guys. So was a good day so far. Looks like, by the way, that the market's going to continue because it looks like Bitcoin is just consolidating and coiling up for another big rip. So if that's the case, oh, and by the way, if you copy trade with me, then you are welcome, because my copy trade was Conflux, and Conflux is now up 308%. So if you copy trade with me, then you are welcome. I'm not going to take that one yet because I think it's going to continue ripping, but we'll see what happens there. Anyway, so Christmas Spiders in the house. Good morning. Brett, yeah, there's some base tokens right now that are absolutely exploding and absolutely going for it right now. So shout out to Base, which did flip, by the way, Solana and Ethereum for one 24-hour cycle. And as soon as it started getting reporting in the news, that's the end of it, right? It was just a nice little flip for a short period of time. People are starting to look at Base. And look, guys, if you have not already, you should consider, and I'm not telling you what to do with your financial investment, but you should probably trade on Base a little bit, because at some point they're going to airdrop. I mean, they do airdrops just like everybody else. And if that's the case, then you really don't want to miss out on a potential free money airdrop. Also, if you haven't already, you might see me on Twitter. I signed up for Block, and I've got a little bit of Block that I'm earning. But we'll see whether or not I'm not going to play these goddamn games. You know what I mean? Like, just a little bit maybe. But it seemed like a lot. So as soon as I started signing up and going through it and working my way through it, I got a little bit of rewards so that I have points for Block. So I'm going to get a small amount of Block. And, I can't sit here. I'm not playing Rage, Shadow Legends. I'm not playing, all these other games. So, I'll sign up and I'll do all the basic pieces. But, if you haven't already, consider signing up for Block, by the way, because that is it's a great opportunity to earn some yield. So let's get into Bitcoin and let's figure out a little bit about what is going on with Bitcoin right now, because we do have a few little things out here. Bitcoin's back up to 67,000, 68,000 now, but market volatility causes a spike in liquidations. Recent volatility in the Bitcoin market has caused almost 40 million in Bitcoin short liquidations. Well, that was a few hours ago. If you remember on my liquidity heat map, when I told you guys, what we were looking at on those longer terms, I want to say it was the 1 week chart. If I got that right, it should be the 1 week chart. Let's pull this up real quick. And as you can see, boom, we went to exactly that area that I told you guys we were probably going to go to. Unbelievable. Just absolutely annihilated that one position. I told you guys there was going to be a huge amount sitting in that 68,000 range. And of course, what do? We spiked all the way up to take it out. So what does it look like going forward? Probably up higher. We're probably, I thought maybe we would go down to 60,000 in this range down here. We might sweep all this liquidity down here. And we still could, by the way, because we're minting lower at this point. So as long as we continue to mint lower, then, the odds are that we're going to come down and retest that. But as of right now, we're at 68,000 and we're ripping our way back through here, probably on our way to 75 to test that all-time high one more time. Just absolutely annihilating some of these positions. So shout out to everybody who got back in on the long position. Again, I just liquidated my long position. We're going to reset ourselves. I'm going to wait for a little bit of a dip, or now that I'm looking at, first of all, I don't want to short this market. Okay, I do want to say that it's difficult to short this market right now because this is kind of a parabolic phase. It's easy if you can find a good top to liquidate it just to short it just a little bit as a scalp or a quick swing trade, but you cannot do this on a hodl basis because we're at the bottom of the bull cycle. We're not at the top of the bull cycle. So be very, very careful in anything that you short at this point. But 164 million in liquidations over the past 24 hours. And the vast majority have been short positions based on this rip. And guys, you know, I told you guys a lot of this was going to happen. I keep putting out these videos for you to show you where I think everything is going to go. And I mean, we've been pretty right so far in everything that's been going on. And it's not because I'm not a genius or anything. I'm just watching the liquidation map and telling you where it's going to go on the liquidation map. And so far, it's been pretty accurate. So there is a ton of money, though. I would expect to see a move coming down pretty soon, okay? And I'll show you why in just a few minutes. But anyway, the other thing is, you know what a dirtbag is? Well, a dirtbag is a guy named, we got Game Bangers in the house. What is going on, my man? We got Kaktashi Hashburn. Shaman Says is in the house. We got Jason Bourne. Guys, be very, very careful around Jason Bourne. He is a stone cold killer. Just very careful. Just walk very slowly and don't make sudden movements around him. He's already checked the doors. He knows all the exit points. He knows how to get away, and you're not going to be able to stop him, okay? So just be careful. Christmas Cypher's in the house. What's going on? So much of Grayscale's Bitcoin outflows turns out that it comes from that low-life dirtbag piece of garbage, Barry Silbert. How about that? Did you know, by the way, hey, Barry Silbert, do you good morning? Because if you good morning, go fuck yourself, Barry Silbert, you dirtbag. Anyway, if you wonder what's wrong with crypto, the answer is two words, Barry and Silbert. He represents everything that is wrong with cryptocurrency. Now, he previously owned CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, a media giant, owned Genesis, which is one of those it was an investment company, and it also provided liquidity. Genesis was the problem with Gemini. It owes people, and by the way, filed bankruptcy, owes people billions of dollars. Why? Because Barry Silbert's a piece of shit. Now, how do I know that? Because Genesis and CoinDesk and Cointelegraph. And do you remember all of the stuff that was going out about Terraform Labs and about how Do Kwon was doing all of this shady, crazy stuff that he actually wasn't doing? And I'm not saying, by the way, that Do Kwon's innocent in any way. I'm saying that all the stuff that he was alleged to be doing about all of the Red Hoods and all of the people in South Korea that were hunting him down and how he had a red notice on him from Interpol, et cetera, lies. Who told you those lies? CoinDesk. Who owns Cointelegraph or CoinDesk in South Korea? Who owns that? Barry Silbert. Who's manipulating the market? Barry goddamn Silbert. So if you're wondering about who it is, that's a low-life dirtbag in this crypto space, it's Barry, the loser, Silbert. And guess what? He was also on the Grayscale Bitcoin. He was also part of Grayscale Bitcoin at one point. So, this filthmonger is just out here doing it to like screwing over everybody. And if you had your money in Genesis right now, you can't get your money out of Genesis. Do you know why? Because Barry Silbert's a fucking dirtbag. And he stole your money. And he stole Gemini's money as well. And they're in a fight over it right now. And you know who's being quiet about it? Barry Silbert. Why? He's a fucking dirtbag. Dirtbags don't speak. Anyway, much of the Bitcoin outflows are coming from Genesis selling their shares. So an analyst started to look and say, why is Grayscale selling off so much? Because it doesn't seem like it would do that, because the fees on Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and look, it's honestly, if you're paying 1.5%, you could be paying like 0.5 or no percent. It's kind of foolish at that level. I mean, just consider if you got a $10 million investment into Grayscale Bitcoin, 1.5% of that is $150,000 versus paying $50,000. It's $100,000 that you're giving to Grayscale when you don't have to. You can just put it into iBit, no problem, save yourself the money, right? So that is true. However, it turns out Eric Balchunas, senior analyst from Bloomberg, which is, and look, guys, we follow James Cipher and we follow Eric Balchunas, right? And they said that Genesis is trading in its Grayscale Bitcoin shares to buy the dip. The 9 new Bitcoin ETFs have taken in about 1.2 billion in the past days as prices have declined 8%. Grayscale Bitcoin has outflows, yes, but it's largely Genesis who is simply exchanging Grayscale Bitcoin shares for spot Bitcoin. So net neutral event. Added up, the ETFs have been net buyers of Bitcoin. As usual, when it comes to sell-off, the call is coming from inside the house because Barry Silbert is a skeezy little dirtbag who's trying to manipulate you and trying to get you to fall for the narrative so that he can buy the dip, because that's what pieces of shit do. They float around in your toilet, you flush them, and they don't flush away. They just go to the bottom, and then they come back up again. That's for you, Barry. Anyway, so we got a $5 bomb here from AZ. GM, good morning. I appreciate your work, brother. And good morning to you if you good morning, because good morning. And what's your take on Skids, Solana? It's a great meme in the real world, and I can see a potential in the future. I don't know about potential in the future, but Skid Kid is one of them that we keep talking about. Down a little bit on the day, but it had a nice run. I mean, it's like, you know, it had a nice little pump. Let's pull it up on the chart here. I told you guys that I would be looking for it for an accumulation at a level here, right? You're at the 786 line right now, which is where the spike and the bounce is. Problem with it is you're looking for 24-hour volume. So where's the 24-hour volume? 1.72 million. A lot of that, largely to this point, has been sell-off. Liquidity 266,000, market cap 6 million. So what would you expect to see happen? Well, what we saw before is we saw the exact double top breakout here, and we didn't mint a higher one. So this coming down, probably representative of another run. Where would the run go? Well, we're on the 786 line right now. This is your entry spot anywhere in this golden pocket. What's the next move? The next move is probably to this 5.0. So we're going to drop it to 14 cents roughly. Over here, 14.12 cents, and then 17.24 cents. If we get lucky on a spike, then it's going to be 21 cents. Now, I do think that that's going to be a rapid sort of move like this was right here. I think that, you know, that's what we're going to see. Now, we're not going to see this top again, I don't think. I think that would be something for a retest at a later time. What I could see happening is, again, this move up into the 14s. Then I could see this move again up over maybe into this range right here. And then probably a rejection at least back down to this range before testing a new top. And that would fall in line with having a breakout here. Then, of course, you're going to get like down here to the 618, which is still the 618, even on this range. So that's what would most probably happen here for Success Kid. So, oh, by the way, I did make a Success Kid image of myself, by the way. Because why? Because I use my time wisely. Duh, of course I do. Where in the hell did it go? I just did it the other day, and I thought, oh, you know what? Let's do it. Ta-da! Oh, God, I entertain myself so much. Anyway, so Barry Silbert, you're a piece of shit. Hope you watch this and go fuck yourself. So anyway, Barry Silbert is the one that's doing it. He's been selling it off. He's the reason that the world is burning. If it's on fire, you can probably put out the match with Barry Silbert's mouth. You know what I mean? So yeah. Grayscale Bitcoin sell-off, all because of Barry Silbert. What a dirtbag. And that is it. Now, the other thing is Bitcoin and ETH in the green as global easing cycle continues. So what is happening right now is that we've started to get into quantitative easing, where I think it was some of the European nations have reduced their have started quantitative easing. So they've reduced their interest rates. So the interest rates coming down, that is a huge, huge sign. That huge sign is very, very good for this market. So I would be looking at just something fantastic to end up happening. And again, we're seeing it right now. $69,000 Bitcoin just hit. So we are watching in real time as that quantitative easing is playing out. And imagine what happens if the U.S. does that. Imagine if the U.S. drops 25 basis points. If that happens, this market go boom, boom. And it's going to happen, by the way, right around 30 days after the halving, in my estimation. We're going to have to see what the numbers look like, of course, before they start quantitative easing. But they're penciling it in right now for May as the 1st. So we might see a nice little move coming for crypto very, very, very soon. So let's get in chat. Any questions anybody have? We got Skid in the house representing super hard. Shout out to all the Skid people in the house. Hope you guys are making a little bit of money. Again, always look for that downward motion. Right now, you're in that 786 area. So if you're looking for a move, that move is right now, and you'll probably see a nice little pump coming off of that. That would just be my guess. In fact, I'm not a professional. And by the way, the one other piece that you might see, and this is going to suck, but you'll probably see a little bit of it. And God damn it, API kept pumping. I did think it was going to retrace just a little bit, but we got out near the top. We got out near the top. But what I think is that if Solana's pumping and Bitcoin are pumping, then the memes don't pump as robust. So you might be kind of sitting there waiting for just a moment, because what you need is the money to come out of Bitcoin, and the thirst right now is for Bitcoin. So that's the piece that we're going to be looking for. Shout out to Neko Army. Neko's in the house. We got Skid still here. Any thoughts on Luna Classic with the SEC hearing today? So I think that what we're going to see from that is a positive, very positive outcome for Terraform Labs. Now, the question has always been, and here's the point that we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen the evidence from the SEC that something bad was done internally. And it is my estimation on Terra Luna Class, and we'll get to that in just a few minutes, but it's my estimation that most probably what we saw was Duquan selling, and they're going to say that Duquan sold his crypto. Well, Duquan can sell his crypto. He's not obligated to hold it forever. And why did he sell his crypto? Because people were showing up at his door. If you guys remember, people were showing up at his door wanting to kill him. So he fled the country because he didn't want to die. Not because he's scamming people, because he didn't want to die. It was that simple. So I think that we're going to find that the SEC, just like previous, doesn't have a case. They don't really have a case. They're just reactionary, and they're trying to, here's what they're trying to do. The SEC is trying to make up for the fact that Gary Gensler is a Sam Bankman-Fried cuck, and that he's sucked up to Sam Bankman-Fried, and that's why this is happening, because now he's got to find somebody to attack and make them the scapegoat because his boyfriend is now in prison. So, and that's for you, Gary Gensler, you dirtbag. But that's what happened, right? That's exactly what's going on. So let's move on here. What are your thoughts on low cap SOL meme coins? Will them follow Bitcoin? They're not going to follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the one that's going to pump. It'll pump until it's done. And once the money's there, then that money will start to cascade down into alts. Like, I think what we're seeing is the start of a blow off top on the altcoin, or not. We're seeing the start of a move for altcoins. And the altcoins have been moving aggressive. You ain't seen nothing yet, but we're starting to see some aggressive movement. Luna Classic starting to pump right now. Luna's probably going to $2 in pretty short order right now. So if you have some Luna on you, shout out to you. Won't be long before. Remember Luna when it launched, it was up at like $20. Like when it launched, it was gigantic. That it was like that big, like the spike was $25, $30, something like that. And nobody could sell because nobody had any tokens. You only had like a tiny percentage piece of those tokens. So just crazy what could happen when the timing is right. Timing's not right now. Maybe we'll see $2, maybe we'll see $3 on Luna on Luna. Luna Classic, I think, is going to be about 32 pretty soon. I think it's going to reject off of 25 and then retest probably back down a little bit, and then boom, going to be a nice reversal and a nice move. You know what I mean? So let's see how it goes. And by the way, guys, if you took the time to come in here and talk about your SKID token, make sure you hit the like button. If you came in here to talk about Neko, make sure you hit that like button. The one thing that helps me the most is when you come in here and you are dedicated to making sure that more people are able to come in here and check this program out. And by doing that, the way that you do that to help me the most is just hitting the like button. That is the only thing that you have to do when you come in here. It's the only thing. And that helps me out tremendously. Pushes me up in the algorithm. When it pushes me up in the algorithm, it goes into the face of more people. And when you have more people who are looking and more people who are paying attention, then the end result of that is more people. And we've got 52 likes as of right now. So everybody go hit that like button. Make sure that you're hitting the like button because the like button is likable. We don't have any Ethereum news, but we do have Solana news. We're going to pop over through that and we're going to skip into altcoins. And Solana is flipping major resistance. And we've now got a prediction of a $250 Solana. And by the way, I don't know if you guys meant, as a matter of fact, I don't even know if it's me that they're talking about because I didn't save the article, but it's very funny that we just had that. I showed you guys over the weekend that the way I had set up my Solana was 189, 195, and then the total take profit was going to be at 250. By the way, I went ahead and liquidated that because I wanted to ape into API because I thought that was more immediate money, and I thought that API was getting ready to pump. So that's why you're not seeing those longs in that position anymore. Because I just, like, when I looked at it, I was like, you know what? I think that API is just easy money at this point, that there's going to be like taking candy from a baby and beating up babies. Come on, it's the American way, right? We've been doing that since the first Thanksgiving, I guess. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So anyway, check out Solana. Also, if you haven't already, check out Neko. Neko having a nice little run. This run so far by Neko for the last couple of days. I want to see what the percentage is on it. Now I'm curious. From that low to that high was 52% so far. So if Neko continues on and Neko continues to have this surge like it's having right now, the next resistance spot is not until, here's a good part for Neko. Neko's going through cursory resistance right now. The next area with actual resistance that you could possibly run into is about 4,000. So, you know, a nice little surge up here, a little bit more, and you're looking at a resistance point, and then you don't get any resistance appreciable. You don't get any appreciable resistance until you get to almost 5,700. So, it's possible, by the way, that Neko just kind of breaks out. You know what I mean? Like that, it is possible that that's just going to break out completely. So we'll see what happens there. But now it's time for Bencoin. So guys, you followed me, you watched the video. If you didn't watch the video and you want to see something unbelievable, go watch my testimony video where I broke down exactly what TJ was saying on the stand, how difficult he was, how treacherous, how just seedy it was, that the way that he was talking, the villainy sort of stuff that he's doing. And then in the meantime, you can go check out and see that if you go check out Ben's doing crypto banner, he's doing blockchain basement, he's doing all of the different things, and he's just daring them, stop me. I created it all, so go ahead and stop me. So now that means that, and by the way, just so you guys know, Hit Networks is now in receivership. I didn't get to the end portion of that. So just for everybody's reference here, Hit Networks is now in receivership, which means that somebody is overseeing the finances of Hit Network until such time as a resolution is achieved, which means that they can't just spend money. And a forensic auditor is stepping in the next couple of days, it is my understanding, to kind of look through to make sure that they know exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, so that's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be a victory, in my opinion, and I don't know, but it's going to be a victory for Ben. I think that Ben has been working on this for a long period of time. And when that happens and we start to get that big victory, then what do you think is going to happen to the price of Bencoin? Probably going to explode. And just my opinion. I don't know that to be the case, but I do know this. Femex influencer achieved significant growth through inscriptions on Femex. Legendary key opinion leader. By the way, this is an advertisement for Femex. Femex sponsored content is now putting out a worldwide ad featuring Ben Armstrong. Femex, a leading digital asset exchange, which you can sign up, by the way, in the description down below. And I am an affiliate of Ben. So if you want to help one of the greatest things that you can do to help me, sign up on Femex. And if you sign up on Femex, then you are helping Ben Armstrong as well. And what is happening down here is BitBoy Crypto is over here doing his inscriptions on Femex. So Ben has long been a pivotal influencer within the crypto sphere, offering seasoned advice to crypto enthusiasts, says Stella Chan. His decision to release his inscriptions on Femex Pulse was met with enthusiasm as the community eagerly sees the opportunity to acquire them. Before you get too far ahead of ourselves, inscriptions. And inscriptions, by the way, are not, they're nothing new. It's NFTs on the Bitcoin blockchain. That's what inscriptions are. So ordinals are a system for ordering sats, that is Bitcoin fractions, Satoshis, in a way that renders them non-fungible. Inscriptions then are the content of the ordinal NFT. They can be images, videos, text, or any other data. So basically what you're doing is you're inscribing onto it, and, very cool. So if you haven't already, certainly go check that out. Bencoin, again, I think that Bencoin is just about ready for an absolute explosion. I think that, listen, everything about Ben, everything about Bencoin, everything about Ben Armstrong, the narrative has started to change. Are there people out there who are not going to like him no matter what? Yeah. Does it matter? Nope, not at all. So fantastic, what we're probably going to end up seeing. Now, Terra Luna Classic. Terra Luna Classic is just absolutely having a good time right now. Not a great time. There's still some kinks to be worked out. And as you guys know, I am about to partner with, we're going to start talking about a lot of new stuff going on in Luna Classic. And I think the important thing that everybody should know is, look, if you like Luna Classic or if you don't like Luna Classic, what you should be at least acknowledging is the building effort that's going on. One of the biggest problems with building right now is you can't create dApps because you don't have IBC hooks, right? Well, guess what? That's over at the 2.4.2 upgrade, because on the 2.4.2 upgrades, IBC hooks are going to be implemented, and that means you will now be able to build applications on the Terra Luna Classic blockchain. That's about as huge as it gets for a Terra Luna block. The only thing that can be even bigger than that, the fact that you can now build on this blockchain and you can build robustly on this blockchain, the only thing bigger than that is the amount of burns that you can burn. So if you're not already, consider signing up at Weeks in the description down below. If you want to help burn Luna Classic, go start trading and go start earning yield. We've traded about a couple $100,000 so far. I was surprised, but anyway, and it helps me tremendously, by the way. If you sign up for Weeks and start trading Luna Classic over there, and by the way, you can trade whatever you want over there. I get rewarded for each and every, whatever trade it is you do, and it's a non-KYC place. So wink, wink. If you want a non-KYC, you don't want people meddling in your business, then this is a way to do it. So sign up at weex.com, link in the description down below, but specifically for Luna Classic in order to burn some. And then Binance has got their burn coming in a couple of days. I think the enthusiasm for Luna Classic is about to pick up big time because Duquan is out there free. Luna is pumping. Luna Classic is starting to continue that little rise. This is what the Luna chart looks like right now. It's continuing on up this way. I think it's going to reject up here at 25, probably come back down. Guys, I just drew it out here. I guess I should just show you what I drew. We're going to make our way up here. We're going to reject off of that, probably come back down here for a retest at 17 and then break out. If we can break out and then retest over here at around 23, 24 off of the top move up here, then we're going to break out to 32. That's the way I see it right now in Luna Classic. So if you haven't already, at least go check out Luna Classic. I'm not as big a fan right now on USTC. I don't think that the USTC is going to have nearly the pump that we're looking for. So that's going to be a little bit different. But for right now, this is what we got, where we are. So make sure you hit the like button, by the way, on your way in here if you haven't already. Helps push me up in the algorithm. These are the tokens, by the way, down at the bottom that you can see that I'm holding on to. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Render, Volt, Ben, AvicPay, Advantis, Arbitrum, Doge, Injective, API3, XRP, and ASM. So those are the ones that I'm holding. So if you want to check those out, then you can absolutely go check those out. Let's move on here. So then we have chat. Let's get back into chat and check it out. Guys, by the way, I'm trying to simplify this so that there's more discussion with what is going on in chat. Michael Zambisky says that Skid on Soul Army, best community ever, the next alpha. Success Kid is in the house. So if you haven't, certainly go check it out. And by the way, do you remember what I told you about GME GameStop, that, you know, every once in a while it hits a bottom and then it pumps super hard? It's up 33% on the day. So if you haven't already, boom. You know, I told you guys that, I mean, this thing just for whatever reason just really likes to rip from that bottom. It gets these big ass moves. So as soon as you can find that bottom, and look, if you're looking at it this way, you can see that the bottom is kind of in. And by the way, when you look at this, it's coming like this, and then it's kind of curving now. So that means that GME is probably on the verge of breakout. So is it going to break out? I don't know. Where did I say it was going to go next? Well, this long trend line right here continues to be the obstacle. So if it pumps here, it can pump up a few more points. It can pump up another 33% from where it is right now, which in fact, from this move right here, would make it 100% gain. And if it gains 100%, probably rejects off of that. So there, we'll see that, and we'll get to the rest of it in just a few minutes. So make sure that, yeah, if you haven't already, you know, check these things out. And now let's look at some charts and let's figure out what's going on in the market, because Bitcoin just absolutely annihilating expectations and just totally ripping. It's just totally ripping, bro. Let me get into the 1 hour here on Bitcoin. And so we broke through. Remember, I told you guys this was going to be our resistance zone. This is our area right here, somewhere in that range. So let's remove that. We broke over the 68.5. Remember, I told you also 68.5 represents a big level of resistance. So what would be optimal right now would be a retest back here at 68.5 and hold 68.5. And then we see another move that will stop right around here. 71,300 is about the range. That's the optimal play out. And the reason for that is because this right there is the range that we're looking at for Bitcoin right now to come back into near, it's going to be near the highs, by the way. So that seems to be the range right now that Bitcoin needs to rip into on a retest, by the way. So we're going to need some downward momentum. We're going to have to get to 68.5. That again represents a significant resistance and support area. And you can see right here, I mean, we wicked off of it here. We wicked off of it a bunch here. Use it as support here, resistance here, resistance here. Like, this is a very specific area that we're going to have to break through and hold if we want to move on. Now, mathematically, obviously that's the case, but this is whether or not the investors are bullish again. That's the question. Like, are the investors bullish again? And if they are, then this is going to be a big time move. So that's what I'll be watching for right now. Now, Ethereum is breaking out a little bit better than what I thought it was going to do. It's already been accepted into its range right here. I do think that from 3,500, again, as long as Bitcoin moves, Ethereum is going to move, and the next move for Bitcoin, or God damn it, I keep saying Bitcoin, the next move for Ethereum is going to be right into this range right here. And it's going to be a range, by the way. This one's a little tougher because of Bitcoin. Ethereum is a little more volatile. So it's this sort of range right here, anywhere from 3,610 to about 3,700. That seems to be the next range that you're going to see the move into. So I would expect some kind of probably sideways action for a little while, and then we'll see a spike into this range if we get accepted again by Bitcoin at 68.5. If that 68.5 holds, then we're heading on into morning, so to speak. And then I told you 4,300 was on the radar. So let's just put that up there. That would be the next big and bold move. But there's no catalyst, by the way, right now. There's no real catalyst sitting out there for this move. Just so you guys understand, like I don't see like a big catalyst for Ethereum other than, you know, staking, you know, just your general stuff. The fact that it's deflationary, you know, all those things that are permanently bullish at this point on Ethereum. That the fees are still high. Now, there is a proposal for those of you that don't know. There has been a proposal submitted in order to change in order to change a little bit about the fees. And what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to open the throughput on Ethereum. And if they do that, then the fees are going to go down from 20 to 35%. Now, by the way, I do want to point out, if you haven't, and you're not paying attention and you haven't like watched the Ethereum fees, you haven't seen that crazy spike. Now, I want to point out, look at the volume that we're seeing right now. Look at the aggressiveness that we're seeing in the buying, and then look at the gas fee. It's only 33 right now. So, some of what happened here with this upgrade, this last Denkun upgrade, Deneb was actually based on L1. So it's good. It's helped a little bit. We're not seeing the enormous spike that we were seeing before. So with that being the case, then I think that to cut this even more, very bullish for Ethereum, but we got to get there first. It would take probably 2 or 3 months at least before something were to come out, more likely like 6 months. API continues to send, by the way. If your spot bag is still holding API 3, then you're probably feeling pretty good today. And look, I think this thing is going to bust out. The last time it moved all the way up was $4.92. Now I wanted to hold it for $4.92, but look, I'm gonna take my money when I can get my money, and I'm just gonna wait for dips and play the dips. So, but let's go on Myro. If you haven't on Myro yet, we saw a nice little spike on Myro. I keep thinking that Myro is gonna have a breakout moment, and it's not disappointing, by the way. But you can see right here we're minting. We're in that positive trend. We did break out of the resistance. We retested it. We came back up. Now we're out here and we're breaking out. So I think the next move is going to be to 29 cents right here. It's in this kind of range here, and it is a zone. So it might be 28, might be 29. But Myro, I think, is going to have a nice, big, bold move here pretty soon. I would think that it would be ready to have a big breakout and start to really test some of these highs. But the motivation, I mean, it's already on Binance. It's already got, like Myro's just one of those things like Pepe, where, it's got a nice run here, hasn't exploded yet. It's only 440 million market cap maximum. But I just get the sense here that, there's a lot of trading volume. There's a lot of people that are on Myro that are just, I mean, it continues to go, you know what I mean? So it's only a matter of time before it just bangs out and goes nuts and ends up at $1. I mean, like this move right here, if you just consider this, just let me back off some of this stuff real quick, just to give you an idea of what could be happening here with Myro, because, you're seeing so many meme coins having all of these moves, but how much higher is Dog with Hat going to go? How much higher are some of these things going to go, right? But if you look at it from this perspective, right? You just kind of take that we're in this channel right here and we're kind of moving on that range, right? Well, then the breakout is going to be the last impulse move. Let's assume that impulse moves right from there. So this is what it looks like. That's $1.50. So, it really looks like when Myro breaks out this next time, that Myro would actually break out big time. Now, if that's not the case and Myro's just not ready for it, then you're looking at this right here, this little line, if you will, and the next Myro breakout would be to 56 cents. I keep telling you guys 50 cents is programmed in for Myro, and I do feel like that's the case. So, yeah, Myro market cap right now, and by the way, Myro has 1 billion tokens. So whatever the price is on Myro, just add a few zeros to it, and that gives you the market cap. So Myro's at 23.7 cents right now. Which you can see down here. So that means that it's at 237 million market cap. So Myro, because it has exactly 1 billion tokens, perfectly easy. When it gets to $1, it's 1 billion market cap. Very simple. So if you're looking at Myro, that's an easy way to figure it out. They're one of the math easiest projects that there are out there. So, but let's move on to Dog with Hat. Dog with Hat had another big spike here. Lower time frame on it, and you can see right here we got down at 230 range. Remember I told you guys at like $2, I was like, man, this is like the buy. It's gonna do it again, and it fucking did it again. So I would, this consolidation, by the way, you saw that it dumped a few hours ago. All the Solana memes dumped just a little bit. You can actually see that over here on the hour with Myro too. All the Solana memes that were pumping got sucked dry, and the reason for that, by the way, is because Solana is pumping. So you don't get both of them. You get one or the other, basically. And then, of course, they get dragged with Solana if Solana continues pumping because the value goes up. So, yeah, render at 1113. Now, remember, guys, I was doing a long. I was in this long, and I was looking for it to go, a little bit further. But I made way more the way that I did it, which I took I took the money on both of those, and then I just moved it into API 3. So render, I think render is going to continue on $15. I think it's programmed in. You can see, like right here, this is just a giant consolidation zone. This is just a giant consolidation. And then when you look at it over the long term, it's still just continuing its upward momentum. It's getting, it's growing and growing and growing. And this is a fantastic level of consolidation right here. Look at all of this right here, right? All of that consolidation right there. That's going to mean a big, big move. So I would be looking for render to have another blow off moment pretty soon. Let's see, what else do we got? 5IRE, still waiting. I'm still waiting for the moment. Remember, I told you guys that it's in this channel right here, and it broke to the downside. But then here's the good part. It immediately got bought back up, and now look at this on this channel. It's using it as support. So it didn't break to the upside, which we wanted to see. It didn't break to the upside, but it ripped down and then immediately spiked back up, and now it's using support here. That means that it's going to take off, right? So what would a takeoff here look like? Most probably looks like there's the move. So if this is the breakout from here, then you're looking at 23, 24 cents, maybe even more. I mean, because that's, it kind of goes in line with 24 cents. So we're close enough. If we consider that this is a consolidation and we look at it as a breakout, then we're literally just telling ourselves that it's going back to the all-time high. So I think that that's probably in the cards for 5IRE. Arbitrum, up 2.5% on the day. Of course, Arbitrum's got to get back into range. It's in a bearish. I mean, it's bearish right now on Arbitrum. So this thing broke out and it broke to the downside. Remember, I told you guys what I would expect to see is I would expect to see from this that it would break to the upside. It broke to the downside, but then immediately caught itself and it's headed back up. So all of these things are doing that. 2.5% up on ASM. Just one of those little speculative. This is the Assemble protocol. It's only available, I think, on Coinbase or something. Like, it's early. It's just one of those early tokens that's available on Coinbase. Wink, wink, for some reason. So I think that it's going to have a really nice run. It's innovation. Atom 3.88%. The fact that Luna Classic now has dApps, and the fact that it's upgrading Cosmos ecosystem and all that kind of stuff probably means that Atom's going to have a nice little spike and pump. Now, of course, in the last hour, it's spiking, but we'll see whether or not, again, I told you this one right here looks like a breakout. And what did it do? It broke out, but it broke to the downside. But now it seems like it's catching its second wind. And, these downside movements are not nearly as bad a lot of times. Avalanche starting to break out again. Avalanche is benefiting greatly from the Ethereum network, reducing the fees. So all of a sudden, Avalanche not nearly as expensive as it was. And look at this, just continuing to mint higher lows. So it's on its way back up, setting itself up for a breakout. AvicPay up 3.7%. Didn't get the spike. I'm not getting the spike that I wanted off of it. Looking for that big move. I'm not getting that big move yet. I thought that I would get this, and it's fair to say that somewhere around this range, like we came back down for a retest, but it's higher lows every single time. At some point, this thing's going to spike and it's going to just absolutely rip its way up there. And by the way, like $1 million market cap or $1 million in liquidity. Let me go over here and check it out for you. 226,000 in liquidity, 1.5 million market cap. It's just a matter of time right now. They're working on some stuff in the background. The reason that we're not partnered, by the way, the reason that you don't see them here is not because we're not friends or anything like that. It's because they needed a few months to get everything together. And then maybe we'll start talking about making some more AvicPay videos, because they got something going on in the background. And, as soon as it's ready, it's going to be just fantastic. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to absolutely rip. Band Protocol 3.6. Real world assets, by the way, if you haven't noticed, real world assets like 5IRE, like API 3, they're, god damn it, API 3 is at 390. God damn, I should have held a little bit longer, but I don't like to do that. I like to take the money when I get the money. But real world assets, those things are going to start ripping. very, very soon. So I would definitely be holding those. BNB continuing its spike. It's at the 382 line. Remember, when I tell you guys something like this, this is kind of the prototype for it, right? This is the move here on Binance, right? It came in, got out of the golden pocket for a little while. And then after the golden pocket came back up, where did it go? 382, 382. It's testing 382. So basically the reverse golden pocket. You know what I mean? Well, not exactly, but the point is that 382 becomes a point of control. Like that's one of your test lines right there where you want to see it go. Bone consolidating right here at 95 cents all over again. We're going to see maybe a spike off of it. Testing, remember, it tested 180 again not that long ago. So it's completely broken out. So let's get rid of that line. So I'll be looking for Bone to make another big move. Bonk is up 2.61%. Again, Bonk is a scam. I would not put too much into Bonk unless you're prepared to lose it all. I like where it is. I like the fact that it probably looks like it's ready for another spike back up here into this range. That's only 20 or 30%. It's already got $1 billion market cap. It only has like 500,000 in liquidity. Again, I will never tell you that Bonk is a smart play. 1.6 billion market cap, only 400,000 in liquidity. This is a joke token, literally from Solana, just as something to play with. So make sure that you're very careful in how you play. Conflux back to, I think Conflux, by the way, just achieved an all-time high again. And guys, you know how bullish I've been on Conflux. Yes, it sure did. It went up to 55 cents. So Conflux now all-time high from where it was before. So if you got in early, shout out to you. This is the beginning of Conflux. Going to continue to rip. Crow is at 14 cents. Now I was hoping for, same thing with this one. I was hoping for a breakout to the upside. We got the break to the downside, but it immediately, it's over a couple of days, of course, but immediately caught itself back up and it's back into this range, which means that it's headed up again. So what I'm assuming here at this point is we're probably going to see Crow. We got to zoom out here and look at, what's the next level of resistance, and that's going to be in this range. So let's go ahead and put from here to around here. This is going to be the next level that we'll see Crow go into right there. So expect to see that one happen probably pretty soon on Crow. We'll probably get a nice big swift move there. And then once that plays out, then it'll be, we'll have to consolidate in that range. It's an older token. There's a lot of holders. It'll consolidate in that range. And then from there, the next move is going to be ridiculous. Right here to here. And then right there. So, and then of course we're getting to the area where this is going to be the big resistance. It's going to be about 40 cents, 40 cents. We're just going to put a ray for now. But right here at 40 cents, that's going to be the big area for Crow. And it could be that it hits not long from now. But, no matter what, we're going to be testing that all-time high again pretty soon. The reversal is in, the move is here. And by the way, if you guys didn't know, that 40 cents, remember, I predicted that 40 cents by the end of the year. Well, there it is right there. That's that resistance that we were talking about. And that's why I gave you guys 40 cents. Cortex had a nice little spike, not all-time high spike, but it got very close to its all-time high just recently, came back down and retested these lows. Again, these lows are forming in that 40-cent range. So Cortex probably, again, real world asset. Cortex is probably set to spike and start to rip up to another new all-time high. DevE, which is a green, this is what you call a green blockchain. And you can see it's just consolidating in this little range right here. The safest thing for you to do if you're looking and you're interested in this is when you see it touch down around $1.20-ish, then go ahead and just buy a bag and wait for it to run, because it seems like if you look here that it spikes up to around $2. I mean, one of the things is when you see something that's reliable like this and it hasn't broken out, then most probably it's gonna run, right? So if you're down here, then buy some and sell when it's up here. Doge up to 18.1 cents. It did the same thing. Remember, it broke out. We saw all of these and they were looking like they were pointing like they were ready to move. They broke down, and then boom, they started ripping back to the upside. So somebody asked before about Lenu. Let's look at that real quick. Lenu, as we see right here, did exactly what I told you guys it was probably going to do, which is reject and just kind of hone around on this line right here. Now, what you're looking for is you're looking for a spike on the 4-hour chart that would tell you that it's breaking out above that trend line. If it breaks out above that trend line, then it becomes a buy, and it becomes an expectation that the next big move on it is going to be up into the 7/014 range. So you're probably going to look at a breakout, and a breakout would look at that breakout looks like that. So that's a pretty aggressive breakout from 1,014. It's 40%. So you're going to 40% spike, and then if it gets accepted quickly, then you're looking at it moving up to 18, which is going to be about an 80% gain from where you are right now. And it could be just like that it does that. You know, it's just a matter of somebody seeing it, finding it, and making the move on it. Again, gas fees are super low, so you're going to see more interest in all of these memes. And while we're on the subject of it, remember, Jesus is rising in a couple days. So I would think that we're going to get one last run, at least on Jesus here. The expectation would be that it does, one of these big things, but I don't know. That was Christmas. That was the Christmas Jesus pump, I thought that we would get something, because if you go back here and you look, the last time we had Easter, it had a nice little spike, launched around Easter. But I think that we should be getting a spike because of Easter. If we don't, we don't, oh well. Dydex engine. We're gonna have to move on. FET here, another real world asset. FET is an AI fetch, and that one's consolidating right here for an explosion. Filecoin is a storage, and it did the same thing, reversed, and then boom, it's coming back into range. Floki's up 3%. Floki's doing the same thing. Phantom doing the same thing. Grok continues. It continues to ascend. I told you guys Grok is going to be a long-term play, up 20% on the day. Graph doing its thing again, just in this range, getting ready to blow up. A lot of these things just look like they're getting ready to blow up. Everything looks like it's just ready for a big move. So SHIB is up 5% on the day, back up into the 3,000 range. Remember we were talking about SHIB way down here, like, oh no, is it dead? And everybody just, man, it's dead, bro. You know what I mean? Discover Crypto said they're sending goons out. Well, everybody there is a goon, so I would assume that anybody walking out the door is a goon being sent out. So give a shit. Oh, and by the way, Jupiter, if Jupiter has been spiking. Look at that. How incredible is it to see Jupiter just absolutely bombing? You know what I mean? Boom. So unbelievable what kind of big spike you're seeing right here. You know what I mean? So and look, this was the one when they had the Jupiter airdrop and shit like that. Like when this next Jupiter airdrop happens, and there's a couple of them, by the way. So the next Jupiter airdrop happens, make sure you get your Jupiter tokens, and holy shit, you know what I mean? Like, whew, this thing is absolutely blowing up. So anyway, liquidation heat map. Let's get onto this real quick so that we can move on, because I got to go, because I got a bear show to get ready for. But so we got the liquidity move right there. This is on the 24-hour. So the next move here is either to 70,000 or 68.5, depending on the zest of the market. The 4-hour, we don't really want to buy anything in the 4-hour. We want the 24-hour. In the 24-hour, you can see that nothing really got to the real oversold area. And then down here, auction USTC, liquidity, MAV, HFT, some of the normal ones, and then token over here. Token came down into that range, and look how big token's pump was. That thing went absolutely bonkers. Price change 37%. Guys, when you see something move down here, goddamn, it gets on. We got Larry the loser. We got Gary Gensler in the house right now. Why don't you go lose to Terraform Labs today, broski? All right, so for chains, let's see what the chains look like today. 24-hour volume, 1.7 on Ethereum. Then we have 856 million on BSC, 823 million on Solana, and then Arbitrum 472 million, and then 208 million on Base. So weekend was not kind to some of these alts, but they were kind to Ethereum. So there you have it. Greed index is at 80. We're still greedy. 69,007. We're about to hit 70,000 on Bitcoin. It's still continuing to pump. Ethereum's almost at 36,000. Solana having a nice little spike. Everything's starting to rip here. So boom. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I appreciate each and every one of you for coming and checking the show out every single day. I know it's a little weird to have a brand new time frame and a new time slot, stuff like that. I'm just kind of working my way through this, trying to figure out new paradigms, if you will. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Time to pay the bills. So we're going to be running an ad here real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. And if you can, stay around. There's one more minute. In that 1 minute, if you stay here, hang out just for a second, and then leave a comment on this video, I sure would appreciate it. We'll see you again very soon. Cryptonomy.finance just launched a research section, so make sure that you go check that out today. Learn a little bit more about crypto that you may not have known before. If you are a corporate client, you can have a relationship manager and a lot of customer support, superior OTC services, and institutional tools that will help you in your venture. Also, if you sign up for the VIP course, you can get in touch with high-touch wealth management personnel and a lot of different people and personalized information as you need in order to successfully navigate this crypto system. Also, if you look at my moves right now, you can see that I'm earning over 106 Solana on my last staking. My Tether, I'm going to earn 1,670 on my staking so far. You can see there's some of these I've earned $784. I can't cash out for a while, but I've earned $784 so far. And then in the launch pool, guys, if you haven't checked the launch pool out, you've got to check the launch pool. Look at these ROIs that I'm getting right now. It's fantastic. 20x on K9 Finance, 7x on Weave, on Block Jerk. If you put a stake into this system right here, it gives you a fantastic